So the concept of self-love is something that I've been very interested in. For the last couple years, I was super shy in like middle school leading up to high school, and I dealt with a lot of insecurity. As I got older and became more free in my thought process and secure in who I was as a person, I realized how big of a role self love plays in the success of your life. It also plays a huge role in how happy you are with your life. Okay, so there are a couple steps that need to happen in order for a memory to be properly stored in the brain. So there's this thing called encoding, which is like the processing of information through your five senses, whether it's visual, sensory, auditory, any kind of sense. And then you have consolidation, which is the way your brain stabilizes a memory and holds on to it so that it can become embedded in your brain and then stored properly to be recalled later or retrieved later. I want to talk about affirmation because affirmation is a huge part of changing the way your brain functions or views things, and it's an incredible way for you to change your perspective on how you approach things. So let's say, for example, every time something happens in your life and you feel like you cannot do it, a lot of people bypass that thought and they kind of just ignore it and then just do whatever it is that they feel like they can't do without really thinking. I feel like that's one way of doing it. But in the future, so I don't feel so small and uncomfortable when it comes to change, what I like to do is try to create new pathways in my brain so that when those things happen in my life, I actually feel like I can do it. So like, let's say for example, something comes up and I feel like I can't do it. For some reason, there is a feeling within me that is telling me that I cannot do what I have to do. And so I will repeat to myself over and over and over again, I can do it, and I will do this. So I'm going to talk about habit forming. This is going to link those two thoughts together. Habit forming takes about a week. So like, it takes about a week to form a new habit. And forming a new habit takes effort and repetition. So if I'm trying to learn a new skill or implement something in my life that will help me become better as a person, or I think will bring me closer to my future and ideal self, I will repeat that thing as much as possible throughout that week, either scheduled or just whenever I come across that feeling, I will implement it. So like, let's say that week, I start saying, as soon as I start getting those feelings at any time in that week that I'm starting to form this new habit, I will start telling myself and repeating to myself, I can do it, I can do it, I can do it, until it overrides the original thought, which is I can't do it. And this to me has to do with self-love, because I think that in order to function and feel good in myself and secure in myself, I must feel grounded in myself. It's like I'm like a little garden. I have to garden myself with water. And I need to I can use any kind of fertilizer to help me grow or help my flowers grow. In order for me to feel like a paradise or feel like a safe haven, no matter where I am. And that comes first, it requires internal work. And that internal work has to do with your brain. Your brain often does not know the difference between reality and hallucination. Not hallucination, imagination. So, merging the two, like in terms of feeling, if you think you can't do it, you probably can't. because you're limiting yourself. So if you can override that feeling, it'll take you way further. And you will implement that in like anything. It can come, you can even apply it to like insecurity. Let's say you're looking in the mirror and you don't feel good. You don't feel beautiful. Where does that feeling come from? Usually comparison. Comparison that you have been influenced to think that there's only one kind of beauty. Or, yeah, for some reason you don't see yourself as beautiful because you have been influenced and have created the pathway in your brain to say or think that only a certain kind of beauty is beautiful. I think self-love comes with the appreciation for oneself. So the appreciation for who you are, the appreciation for others, the appreciation for what you look like, for how you think, for how you speak. Not feeling guilty if you say something that is maybe not perfect. For example, I just think self-love is the key to life. I think it creates so much inner happiness that you just take it with you wherever. No matter who you're meeting, no matter where you're going, it doesn't matter because you feel good within yourself. And I feel like rewiring your brain can be difficult. It's like habits that have been formed over years and years of thinking the same thing, or watching the same things, or listening to the same things. So your five senses are completely being bombarded by this information that is telling you otherwise about reaching your goals or reaching who you really feel you are on the inside. And so, as I said, encoding has to do with taking on information and processing information with your five senses. And then the constant repetition or your attention that you place on that information is what causes it to stick in your brain. It is being consolidated. So you're taking it in from all angles, and then it's being repeated thoroughly. And you're paying attention. Your attention is your time. And the more attention you pay to something, the more it will stick. So you gotta really be careful where you place your attention. Your attention is your consciousness. So when it comes to creating new memories or creating new habits, and you want to become your ideal self, it takes the effort in placing your attention where it matters. So, like I said, for example, you're looking in the mirror, you don't like what you see. Stop before that thought forms. Before the thought even is like, oh, I don't like, stop. I really appreciate the way my hair looks today. I really appreciate the way my eyes sparkle. I really like my smile. I really like what I have on today. I really like my laugh. I really like things like that. I really like who I'm becoming. I really like the way I learn. I really like, it could be anything. It's so important. It's so important. And not in like a self-centered, obnoxious kind of way where I think I'm better than everyone else. It's just appreciation and self-acceptance for who one is. And I think it really takes you far in life in terms of satisfaction and how far you feel you can go. And holding yourself accountable is a huge thing as well. To learn those new pathways, to create those new pathways in your brain. Because it's not difficult, it's just we are familiar to the old ways. And we like it where it's comfortable. Anyways, I think that self-love is such a important part of life. And I think self-love is like giving yourself security. It's giving yourself a way to be grounded when it's really windy, or it's like your home. You are your home. You have to take care of your home. And if you're constantly living up here, you definitely have to take care of up there. And you can't forget about your body either. It's all about acceptance of who you are and how you think and how you were raised and what you look like, and continue trying to be better. That's what I think. I hope this helped you in a way. Affirming those positive thoughts about yourself will really help your brain override those negative thoughts. And the brain is really cool in that way, because it's like you can make things a reality once you start paying attention to said thing. So, anyways, yeah, I hope this helped you. I really like talking about this kind of thing, so maybe in the future I'll talk about neuroplasticity or something like that. But for now, I hope you take care of yourself and you love yourself and you accept yourself for who you are. Oh, I also do tarot readings, so if anyone wants help in that sense, or confirmation or guidance in that sense, I'm totally happy to help. You can reach out to me at my email down below, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you. I will see you next time.